Illegal crossings along the southwest border are dropping to the lowest levels in decades. Now the U.S. Coast Guard is increasing its resources alongside the Border Patrol.
Fox's Sarah Alegre rode along with them for a closer look.
The U.S. Coast Guard has been here along the Rio Grande Valley for years now. That's nothing new. But with President Trump's sweeping immigration changes, they have ramped up those operations. That means more boats and manpower here along the South Texas border. An afternoon along the Rio Grande. In a boat patrolling the winding waters of South Texas, I cruised with U.S. Coast Guard Captain Tory Berthoud and his crew of 4.
Their mission is to augment our Border Patrol partners in key areas here along the Rio Grande to detect, deter, and interdict illegal migration, drug smuggling, really any kind of illicit activity on our southern maritime border.
We were searching for any signs of smuggling along the river. That's when we came across a spotter.
So he pretty much calls in, let them know, like, you got 2 Coast Guard boats coming up the way, so they know, like, whether to cross or not.
Okay, so just basically eyes for
Yes.
that. Gotcha. A clear message to cartels, now's not the time to cross. Since the Trump administration took over last month, the average number of illegal border crossings are on track to hit record lows. As of February, the daily average is around 360. Last year's daily average was nearly 3,000. But Captain Berthoud says the danger's still there.
It is a high-threat area, and there is still smuggling ongoing. The augmentation mission here is really to assist the Border Patrol in the areas that they need it.
And that mission goes beyond the river to the Gulf. The Coast Guard is ramping up patrols along the coast. Last week, they detained 2 people on this fishing boat. The Coast Guard says one was here illegally and the other is wanted on felony weapon charges.
The goal is to ensure that the territorial integrity and sovereignty of the United States is protected.
I was with the U.S. Coast Guard for a few hours monitoring the Rio Grande River. We didn't come across any kind of illegal crossings or smuggling attempts. And yes, those numbers are down this month. They've been down since January, and that's largely in part because of President Trump's immigration crackdown. But we also have to take into consideration the drop that we saw really last year as well, especially after President Biden enhanced those restrictions on asylum cases. In Mission, Texas, Sarah Alegre, Fox News.